on last Tuesday, I went to Kushiro, up to the immigration office, and got super, super lost. Of course. I am very well known for getting lost, apparently. So I drove up to Kushiro, and the address that the maps led me to on my phone was very, very wrong. I was supposed to go to the government building, but it led me to a refrigerator plant instead. So I'm driving around a neighborhood and, oh gosh, I'm just getting very lost. And I keep looking around and the GPS says, "You have arrived. You have arrived." And I'm like, what? No, there's no government office here. Is it disguised as a house? I didn't understand what it was talking about. I was very confused. So I drove around for about 20 minutes and I'm getting really nervous. I'm like, why can't I find this place? I'm following the GPS from 2 different apps and they keep leading me to the same place. So I eventually call my company and they have to give me directions to the government building because, yeah, even they didn't know why. The GPS was leading me to a refrigerator plant of all places. So, a little story from the first day that I got to my little town in Hokkaido. So my company office manager, he drove me to my town from Sapporo, and then we drove around for a while, and then he made me drive myself. And of course, I'm really nervous, but I managed to get the hang of driving fairly quickly. After I finally get the emergency brake off, because I didn't know where it was. It wasn't off to the side like they have in the cars that I'm used to personally. So I had to figure out what to do for that. So that's beside the point. The point is that later, after we finally went around and met all of my schools, we went to the big city that's about 40 minutes away and needed to try and get me a cell phone. And, well, that took 2 or 3 hours before they actually told us that they couldn't do it because I was missing a document that I couldn't get until Monday. So, lovely. It's now about 8 o'clock at night, maybe, and of course it's dark and I'm in a new place. I have no idea where I am, but I had a general idea of how to get back to my town, but once I was in my town, I didn't know where to go. So when I got on the freeway to drive back, I took the wrong exit the first time, and my manager was still following me and thankfully showed me how to turn around so that I could head in the right direction. I felt really bad because it's already really late and he's probably thinking, oh my god, what is she doing? But so I managed to get back into town just fine after that, but then I didn't know where my house was. I didn't know where anything was at all. I knew that it was close to an elementary school, and I knew that it was down the street from a gas station, and it was down the street from a convenience store. But I didn't know which direction it was down the street from them. So when I got into town, I drove around, and drove around, and drove around some more at 9 o'clock at night almost, trying to find my apartment. And it took me almost half an hour driving around my tiny little village just to find my apartment. So, yeah, there I go getting lost again. So, my final story of getting lost in Japan, because I had no GPS either again. So, the Monday afterwards, I had to go back to the major city that I was going to get my cell phone from. So I had to go there after school, and I was lucky enough that I knew how to get into the city, but I ended up taking the wrong exit. I ended up getting off in the wrong exit, so I didn't get off on the street that I was familiar with already and how to get to the cell phone company shop. So I drive around for, God, like an hour or so, just trying to find the main street that I'm familiar with, or even just a shop, a Docomo shop, so that I could go get my cell phone, which was the entire reason I went there that day. So, again, I was terribly, terribly lost for about an hour, and then I ended up finally finding a Docomo shop. Didn't think it would be so hard to find one, but apparently it really was. So I stopped in it and started to get my cell phone set up. And that's another story. Yeah, that wasn't fun. But stay tuned for next time. And I will post more, I guess, little storytime videos. I always like watching storytime videos personally, so I figure I'll do some little storytime videos of me and my adventures in Japan, in Hokkaido. So, bye!